Oh, yes. I didn't get any phone calls, so I thought I'd look again at the English. Uh, England, how is the Queen? Pouch. The National Policing Crime Prevention Strategy. Yes, yes, yes. It's quite a schematic that they have here, isn't it? Oh. Now, there's the EF2, the manage knowledge and disseminate what works. Yes. Develop evidence based standards, guidance, and authorize professional practices. Yes. Establish a repository to ensure products are accessible for one place. Example, prevention guidance and toolkits. Yeah. By crime type as developed by the national leads. Yes. You know, I know that you're not in Washington, D.C. all year round, Congress. Yeah. But I did look at the actual laws in each state. Now, why don't you get me all the employees that work in the federal government that don't think of Washington, D.C. as their home state? We went through their IRS tax returns. Yes. Now, in your individual states, while you travel back and forth to Washington, D.C., yes. Uh, what does the actual law say about issuing court orders that have forgeries? Yes. Issuing permanent custody orders where the respondent gets no notice and isn't able to communicate with the actual individual at that location because I was kicked out of the fifth wheel. They turned the electricity off on me in the middle of winter. Yes. And I was at my grandmother's while you had the dissolution of marriage, and then I was kicked out of her house so that I didn't get notice of court hearings because if you'd sent the notice to my grandmother's house, she would have given it to me. Oh, it looks to me like you had a dissolution knowing that I was not in Clallam County. Pooch. See, I wasn't able to live there from the 20th of December until approximately the end of February. I think you made sure that I would not get notice of the dissolution of marriage. And then you arrested me, Poach, and you arrested me, Ooch, and you arrested me. I sent you 2 million emails, and you refused to allow me to have my sons because you won't remove your court orders. Now, why don't you get me the individuals that commute back and forth to Washington, D.C. that happen to be employees of other state governments? Yes! Or other federal governments. I mean, quite often when you lobby Congress for certain laws or certain amounts of money, yes, these different individuals that have special interests, yes, they travel to D.C. and then they travel back to the location, yes, and then get me all the fraternal order of police. I'd like to know who their optometrists are, Pooch, who their oral surgeon is, yes, did they get me their prescription for erectile dysfunction. Pouch! Now, today, okay, I had informed you that it was against the law to issue a protection order where the petitioner didn't sign it. Yes, where I wasn't given at least 5 judicial days notice before court hearings. Yes, and you can't just say I'm crazy and has to have mental health evaluation. You have to protect my rights as a father. So, for all the individuals that travel back and forth to Washington, D.C. every year, lobbying Congress for any and all provisions, omnibus bills, that was a word that I thought was interesting because I thought spending bills had to be one item at a time. Yes. But it seems like they just throw all the spending in an omnibus bill. Poo. Could you get me the omnibus, the OMNIBUS laws that Congress votes on? Where we throw in a 300 million here, or maybe 2.5 million there, or a billion here. I mean, it seems like they just put it all in one omnibus bill. And I'm going to look at the last 40 years of every person that received any taxpayer funds, yes, that included as a provision of every omnibus law. any and all taxpayer funds for those that travel. Because I'm thinking that each individual right now, okay, that you thought, well, we don't have to pass individual laws of spending the expenditures. Oh my gosh, is that what we're doing today, right now? Now I'm going to go through all the laws of every individual that has a legal or professional obligation for the enforcement of the laws. Then I'm going to go through the omnibus spending of Congress, and every time the president signs the bill, because my thought is you're all fucking liable.